Well, in case you haven't noticed yet, all Australian governments are slowly but surely tightening the screws on what you, as a citizen, can say, do and even own. If you thought Section 18C of the Racial Discrimination Act, which since 1995 has criminalised verbal bigotry, was bad, wait till you see what the current Communications Minister, Michelle Rowland, has in store. She wants to give unelected bureaucrats the power to deem things you say on social media mis- or disinformation. The social media platforms, which have already demonstrated their compliance in such matters, will be up for millions of dollars worth of fines if you say anything that defies the government's narrative. Most big tech companies agree with the government on censorship, so this law will simply be a cover for their already cosy relationship. Over in Western Australia, anybody who owns a block of land only slightly larger than a quarter-acre block must consult their local unelected Aboriginal elders before they so much as dig in a fence post. As Dan Wild of the Institute of Public Affairs said on ADH on Monday, this effectively makes the concept of property ownership obsolete in Western Australia. Meanwhile, in the ACT, the government is forcibly taking back Calvary, a private hospital 76 years before the lease on the land on which it sits expires. And the New South Wales government is giving some of the most precious public land in the entire nation, Goat Island in Sydney Harbour, back to its traditional owners. Very generous of them. But here's the catch. The government has commissioned researchers to find out who those traditional owners are. In Queensland, Victoria and the ACT, it is against the law for medical practitioners to counsel kids against transitioning to another sex, despite what those experts think in each circumstance. It's worse in Victoria because in that state, not even parents can counsel kids against being surgically mutilated. There is a proposal for similar laws in New South Wales, and that's because Australia is increasingly totalitarian. The government knows what's best for you and your kids, and by God, you'd better comply. In most instances, the Liberal coalition is offering token resistance, if any at all, to this ever-growing government intervention in our lives. So, you will be absolutely delighted to hear that one of Australia's newest politicians, Liberal Democrat member of the Legislative Council in New South Wales, John Ruddick, has drawn a line in the sand. In his maiden speech last week, he said, quote, "We libertarians are plotting to take over the world so we can leave you alone." When was the last time you heard a politician offering to leave you alone? All Australians should hear this speech. Here is another good quote. "Scepticism of government does not make you a conspiracy theorist, it makes you a history buff." Ruddick's ideal model for Australia is Switzerland, and his reasons for that are clearly articulated in the speech. You can watch it now on the ADH website. Just go to adh.tv. Spoiler alert, Ruddick's speech might just make you realise that most Australian politicians are mere professional hacks who think their only purpose in life is to stick their nose in yours.